What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I'm seeing Scream 5 or Scream 2022, and you should too. It's my honor and privilege to be making this video. This is a series, and it's not just a Scream exclusive. This is a series where I talk about whether I'm seeing something or playing something, whether I'm not going to do it, or whether I'm in the middle, and just kind of talk about my final second impressions of it before it comes out. Now, I did this already verbally for a game that comes out in 2022. This is the first movie I'm doing, and again, it's a privilege and an honor to be doing it on Scream. So I'm seeing the movie, no duh. But for like a wider audience, even beyond just the Scream crowd, I want to talk about it. Want to talk about kind of my excitement for it in this scope, and talk about why I believe other people should too. Now, again, if we're talking to the Scream diehards, there's no convincing. We are doing our part to support the movie. I think we're doing kind of all we can in our individual ways. I know I saw some people saying they're going to go see the movie like 5-6 times. I mean, I've done my part in making YouTube videos. We're all chipping in. But for a larger perspective, and this is actually what makes this movie kind of cool to me. I love seeing this movie break into the popular culture. Now, it's not as if Scream has never done that before, right? But let's be real. You know, it came out in 96. That was the first one. And it obviously had an impact in the late 90s. And it changed the game in terms of like the horror slasher, right? The impact of that movie, specifically the first one, it can never be overstated. And it is commonly, and it goes mainstream in how much it's talked about. But then when you jump from 3 to 4, it was such a long time. And then 4 didn't hit specifically, again, like culturally, like mass appeal, right? It didn't do it. It just didn't. It did it to maybe us, but it did not do it, or I guess the Scream fandom, right? But not to the masses. So same thing I would honestly argue here, where a lot of the anticipation for this movie, rightly so, and obviously so, comes from like the diehards, the fans, like the true fans of Scream, which makes sense because that's really what you're always going to have and what you're always going to be left with no matter what happens, right? But it's fun to see, I think, like the trailer, right now as I'm recording, and I don't think there's going to be a second trailer at this point. There's only been one trailer. That trailer is a very good trailer. And I know I'm biased, but there's no way around it. But I think if anybody that's a fan of like cinema and maybe horror, but maybe not, honestly, not even necessarily horror. If you watch that trailer and you know what like Scream is or Ghostface, I think it's a really well done trailer. I think you get everything you kind of need. I think it's got the nostalgia, it's got the tension, it's got some sort of really amazing, in my opinion, some like amazing scope. I love it. I love the trailer a lot, and I think it appeals to a lot of people. So my point here, right, is that it's fun to see when it does surpass and go above just the general fandom to the masses, and that's when you see it like on Times Square and stuff of all the promotion. So obviously I'm very excited to see the movie, but I really think there's gonna be an element to this movie that works for a lot of people. I'm praying every night. I cross my fingers in bed and I hope to God that this movie is an example, honestly, much like No Way Home, which we didn't know, No Way Home could have done it right, could have done it wrong, where it not just embraces nostalgia, but it does it right. You're again bringing back these OG3 that people care about, and I think even people that don't necessarily know too much about Scream, they know about as well. And if you do them wrong, whole movie's done. I don't care how good the new characters are. If you don't do the nostalgia stuff right, it's over. In my opinion, okay? Again, SpiderMan proved there's a way of doing it very correctly. There's a lot of examples of it being done very wrong, and that's always what scared me. But I really think we're in a situation with these guys that are, behind Screen, right, Radio Silent, all of them, where they really care. They really care, and I think they know their stuff, and so I'm really hoping that it all kind of clicks. But again, I think this movie, why I have kind of even hope box office-wise, is I feel like it's going to be a film that just works. There's a reason, I think, why it's called Scream, and it's because they're going to use a lot of what worked so well in 1 because they know how well it works, try to, like, reinvent it a little, but also maybe even just copy and paste it in this new one. You have the OGs to please older fans, right? But specifically for newer people, too, you're doing this movie, and again, you have all these elements that I think hopefully are going to work, right? It's just going to be a good film. There's going to be tension. There's going to be questions of who's actually behind this, right? You're going to have the scares. You're going to have the violence of the kills. You're going to have the amazing... I don't know how amazing the dialogue is to like the mainstream, but I think the dialogue is very, very good. It's very witty. It's very smart. It's very self-aware, right? You're going to have all of those elements. I just feel like this movie is going to be good. You know what I mean? I won't say who I watch, but there's some people I watch that are negative on some things, and and like I was surprised that they said this because they're normally pretty negative, and they even said like, yeah, the trailer for Scream, like they watched it, they only watched it once, and that's what a lot of people are gonna do. They're gonna watch the trailer for Scream one time, or they've seen it once, and maybe they see it in theaters, maybe they don't, maybe they eventually see the movie, maybe they don't, but they liked it. They said, you know what, it looks actually really solid, and they don't really have any expectations for it, and that's fine. So my God, I'm so hoping that this film does well. And then even from like you to me kind of thing from the Scream community I don't want to ignore you like a lot of the video I wanted to talk about, new fans or new people that hopefully can get into Scream through this film. But let's not, beat around the bush. We've made this happen so far, okay? All of this hype and excitement has really been on the backs of the diehard fans, and I'm so proud of us as a group. I'm so happy to have met so many people. And again, biasness. This movie holds a very special place in my heart, but even what I've done from, this channel's perspective, it's hard to overstate how important it is, this franchise is to me. I've loved every second of covering it. I'm so happy I was able to cover it as much as I have. I have gotten very few, if not any, comments of like milking the videos of Scream. In fact, I've heard other people milk videos of Scream, and I'm actually not, which is just incredible to me from what I normally hear. So I want to thank all the people that watch these videos, and I think we deserve a good film. Whenever you say fans deserve anything, that immediately just gets like controversy. It just brings controversy. It makes no sense to me because we pay the bills, we pay the budgets back for these films. You know what I mean? So to say like we deserve something, of course we do. We deserve this movie to be good. And at the time I'm recording this on the Monday. I don't know when you guys are going to see it, but obviously we're within, a 10-day window within the next, 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks. We're going to get the social media stuff to come. Now, again, depending on when you see it, it could have already happened. The social media embargo lifts, the reviews lift, people see the movie early, people see the movie day one, on Thursday, the 13th, I believe, right? Like, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. And it also kind of does suck because this is, without a doubt, my most anticipated film and maybe even event of 2022. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of games, and it's not like my channel is going to go away because there's a lot of stuff to cover. But for Scream, obviously, I've covered Scream for like a year and a half, so it's been a very, very long journey. And to see it in a way come to a close, but not really, because it's kind of the end of this chapter. And again, like hopefully this movie crushes it. I want that green light of a sequel, like immediately. Give it 3-4 weeks after the movie comes out and say, yeah, we're gonna do another one. I expect you to go dark and go silent for a while after that, but please give us something to go on for the future, just so we know we don't have to wait again 10 years. I mean, eventually, we're all going to just be gone at that point. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. Again, this is a series I do for anything that I'm interested in. So I did it for a game. I'm going to be doing it for other movies and games as the year goes on. And I do love doing this series, and I think a lot of people tend to like it as well. If you guys want to follow me anywhere else, I have a Twitter account. I have a second YouTube channel. I also have Patreon and YouTube memberships. Links for them all are in the description below if you guys want to check them out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.